what are we covering today, Hajime? We got to cover snow tires, onsen, very important, sleeping spots, snow tire change spots, winter tires, heaters, sleeping, eating,
and snowboard
rentals, so many things. Roll the tape. We also got to talk about Hakuba. Why Hakuba's great? Well, the reason why Hakuba's great is because Australians made it great. Basically, let's be honest. It's always Australians went up there and did some marketing, and now that's the place everyone goes. But it's a lot of great mountains in the valley, a lot of great ski hills. People can't get spots there because it's so popular. So there's a lot of good spots. It's really well catered for Australians. There's lots of restaurants, ramen shops which sell vegan options, flat whites. It's really set up for Australians. But there's not much accommodation there. So we have customers already booking our vans to go to Hakuba, and we thought it would be great to set something up in Hakuba too. So we're actually running a trial right now on this indoor sleeping spot where you can park for the night. You have a fire pit, you can set up your camping gear there. It's pretty close to the snow hills of Iwatate and Sugaike. Thanks, Hajime. Iwatake. It's quite close to those areas, and yeah, it's an interesting spot. So if you're interested in trialing that, hit us up, and we're running trials this winter, and we might do something much bigger next year. So yeah. Another good thing about Hakuba is they've got plenty of private onsen. So you can book onsens just for you and your family or your significant other. These places can be called in English. They basically, everybody in that area speaks English or has English assistance. So it's good to call them a day or two or three in advance if you know which days you're going to be there. So you can have a private onsen if you're not somebody who wants to go in the more communal, traditional Japan onsen experience. That's something worth looking at too. We'll put a link in the description for a spot we went to. It's pretty cool. Just a word of warning: most onsen have bathing places before you go in, where you can like wash and use shampoo. Some of these private ones don't have that. It's just a bath of water. It's outdoor, it's in nature. You have the snow falling on your head while you experience it, which is cool. But yeah, you just want to prepare, make sure you got your shampoo and your soap, which if you use Dream Drive will be included in the kit. So
on a safety point,
when driving on the snow, obviously there's a lot of things that can go wrong. A lot of issues, especially if you don't have the right equipment. Even if you have the right equipment, things can go wrong. So let's just talk about a few little obvious points. Driving in the snow, you're going to need to have snow tires ideally, or snow chains, or both. You also would want a four-wheel drive van ideally, which we do not even provide at Dream Drive. So that's why we're setting up some other facilities for people if they're in these areas to make it much safer. In the snow, when you're on the way to these places, if you rented a van from us, you'll have winter tires. If you didn't, you can use snow chains, and you obviously don't want to drive with the snow chains until you're in the areas where there's snow on the ground. The roads in Japan are pretty well kept and cleared, especially for main roads, but when you're going up into where the resorts are, that's where it gets pretty sketchy. You'll see on the side of a road that have a lot of these tire change areas where it's a well-lit location and you can pull over and put the snow chains on and keep going. Some of these chain kits can be pretty difficult to put on, especially when you've got cold hands, which is why snow tires are way better. But yeah, you go there, you put your chains on, and you know when the snow disappears, you pull over and you take them off. is quite simple. In the actual snow towns of Japan, and we're focusing on Hakuba at this point, they have a lot of nice little things set up. A lot of it tourists come by car, so a lot of convenience stores use like salt water or some kind of way of clearing the snow, so you can like park there without getting snowed in. A lot of the towns also have onsen, a lot of snow towns. So Hakuba has got a bunch of onsen. Some of these onsen, like the foot onsen, are free, and they're open 24/7. So it's actually a really good spot. We'll put in the description below, where you can park, camp. Some of our customers told us that people are actually parking there in tents and sleeping in tents as well. It's a bit wild, but it's a place where in this town where you can park. You can use the hot spring at night time for your feet, which is kind of a nice little feature. And they have Lawson, a convenience store, right next door too. So that's a really good spot. Also near the slopes, they usually have a 24/7 bathroom with heated seats and so forth, where you'd park next to. That's where we parked on our recent trip to Hakuba. When renting a campervan to do the snowboard season, there's a few things that can go wrong basically. For one, storing equipment. After a day in the snow, you can be covered in snow and it melts, and it can let a lot of water into the van. So ideally, you'd want to change outside the van so you don't get too much water inside. Also, you have to be careful not to lean skis, snowboards onto the van. You can damage your paintwork, and the vans can get snowed in if there's a snowstorm, which is why we're kind of offering better facilities for this in Hakuba. A good thing to do is actually just shovel snow and try and, if you know a snowstorm's coming, there's nothing you can do. Try and shovel some snow to block the underneath of a vehicle so you can actually drive away. The owner of the Hakuba brew pub, Daniel, told me that it's quite common that people park if there's a heavy snowstorm, it gets underneath a van, and the car ends up sitting, the bed of the car ends up sitting on snow, the wheels just spin, and there's not much you can do. You got to call the services to pull you out, which can easily damage your vehicles. So yeah, these are some things to be aware of before you go. So the slopes at Hakuba and many other places have great rental available. You can use the rental on the slopes, but you can also, if you rent with companies like Rhythm, you can sometimes pick it up the night before. I believe if you pick it up after 4 p.m. or after 5 p.m, you don't pay for that day's rental, and you can have your gear ready for the next day when you actually hit the slopes. So that can be a really good system, and they sometimes have much better gear. And if you get to the slopes to rent your gear, you can be waiting in very long queues, which can take a long time. So definitely recommend using those services. We'll put the description in the link below too, so you can basically better prepare for that. The great thing about using a camper van for snow travel is you can park, if the conditions are good, right next to the ski lifts. It can seriously be in Japan, ski in, ski out accommodation, and it's a great place to cook during the day. All our vans obviously have cooking equipment. Our customers like to use it for cooking too, midday, or for breakfast, or for making a coffee. That's kind of a really cool feature, which to try and find ski in, ski out cabin in Hakuba is just going to be astronomical prices. So that's something which people really enjoy. And the vans we're making look cozy. We're fitting this week heating systems to our van, FF parking heaters, as well as snow tires to the vans we're sending up. At the time of booking, if you just contact us and we can tell you which vans have those systems in. But yeah, this makes it a very cozy cabin to stay in the snow too, and our customers so far have had a great time. So yeah, that's it. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. Of course, you have to subscribe because there's going to be a lot more good content coming. And yeah, see you later. What should we say for like hello people? Everyone say hello everybody. Hello campers. What's up guys?
I'd probably say guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys. Hey,
I go on.
Hey you. Hey you.
Hey, you. No.
Hey you gender non-specific people out there.
That's good.
How about brews and brewlas?
I like it. Hey, dreamers.
Hey, Brewski.
Drivers.
Hey brews and brewlas.
Hey, dreamers. Hey, drivers. Hey, people all around.